reaction to this. So, Petronella, I mean, this is a complicated thing because at the heart of it, it's really, we don't know, right? We just don't know. All we do know are the facts, is that Andrew befriended this paedophile.
Yes.
Even after he was convicted initially of paedophile behaviour, Andrew continued to see him, including for 4 days in New York, infamously. And we also know he vowed to clear his name and then never did.
Yeah, I mean, my problem is not that he befriended Epstein when he didn't know he was a paedophile, but after he was released from prison, in full knowledge of what he'd done, he then goes to New York to stay with them, and it wasn't for academic legal reasons.
No, he was there for 4 days.
Yeah, he was on a jolly with his
and lots
old
of
pal,
women seen going in. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that is extremely distasteful. We also have the photograph, which is now real.
One of the weirdest things... Well, which
bottom,
photograph?
Well, I mean...
I thought... Look, it looks like the Mail on Sunday have nailed the fact that that photograph may be real. But what about the bathtub one in the Telegraph?
I mean, the bathtub...
One of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
It takes it into...
Have we got it again? Can we get it up on camera?
But it now reminds me of the Duchess of Argyle's
look at this. So
case.
these are friends of the Maxwells, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Who are pretending to be Andrew and this girl who was his, the woman he's paid millions of dollars to while saying he never met her, to prove that they couldn't have frolicked in that bathtub. This looks like proof of the complete opposite, Katie.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary photograph and clearly doesn't do anything to clear Andrew's name. I mean, I think at the end of the day, he said he was going to go to court. He'd be prepared to do that, be prepared to be investigated by the FBI. Did none of that. I think it sticks in the core for a lot of people that the settlement was deemed the easy way out. I think Alan made a good point, though, because he was under huge pressure. The Queen wasn't well. She's coming towards the end of her life. The last thing that the royal family would have needed was a big court case like this. They had enough with what was going on with the court of the Sussexes across the pond. But, of course, Charles is now faced with all of this on the eve of his coronation.
Well, the last thing he needs is all that.
I mean, the trouble is, it's always all about Andrew.
It's all about him wanting to make his comeback into public life.
About Harry. You don't start even talking or thinking about this sort of thing until after the coronation.
Right.
Assuming he is innocent, then...
Absolutely, how can we assume that?
Well, let's just play devil's advocate.
Let's give him a chance.
Let's give him
Why
the
does any innocent person pay millions and millions of dollars?
Well, let's just say
someone
pressure.
they claim they never met. It wasn't like he met her and there's a dispute.
If he was, it's hypothetical what I'm saying. If he was, it wouldn't really matter whether he was trying to clear his name or not, because the point is that Charles's plan for a streamlined monarchy wasn't going to include Andrew at the helm anyway.
No.
He was going to be demoted. So this is just a distraction. But what about
the coronation is a great chance for King Charles to reset, right, the whole monarchy. Yes. After 70-odd years of his mother's reign, his glorious reign. This is the big moment for him where he actually has a coronation and his queen consort coming and gets her.
Yes, I mean, he must be sitting with his head in his hands, wishing he had rather more amiable relatives.
No, but I would be saying, why on earth would he even countenance having Harry and Meghan there with all their cameras making notes, repeating again more private conversations they have with the royals?
But he has to. If he doesn't,
and why would he have Andrew if he's
now
going to try and be contesting this?
Well, I agree, Petronella. I think there will be a bigger row if he doesn't. Their absence will
I don't agree.
Volumes.
Why would there be a bigger row? Just ban
because
them.
they would make one.
The best answer to Harry and Meghan is shut up, go away, and nothing to do with us anymore.
Yes, but
Piers, you're missing the point. You're
What's
missing
the point?
The point of a royal family is it has to be united. It projects
They're not
this
united.
image of
You've
unity.
got these two mudslingers in California.
And so Charles...
Why should it be all one way? Why should these two renegades just
because the king has
shovel
to be,
dirt all over their families'
because the king
heads
has to
for
be
months and years on end?
magnanimous. Piers, the king has to
I
be
don't agree.
magnanimous
See,
and show
if
that
one of my kids did this, that would, for this long and this nastily about all the loved ones of the family.
Since Queen Victoria, the royal family is supposed to represent the idealised British family. Yes. And they've always been conscious of that. And it's something the taxpayer are conscious of too. They do not like to see a royal family divided. Charles doesn't have any choice.
William wants to punch Harry's lights out, I was told the other day. Literally wants to punch his lights out.
Very well, but at the
what
moment,
happens if he sees him at the coronation and decides now's the moment? I mean, the heir to the throne punching his brother in the head.
The Abbey will have been
knocking
cleared. The Abbey will have been cleared of any dog balls. There will be no dog balls. There will be no... Listen,
if one of your family had done this, right? One of your siblings or a child, or if they'd done that, what would you do?
We're private individuals.
You keep it in the private domain.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Harry hasn't done that.
No, he's a little traitor.
I think his father and his brother will show that they can do better.
I think they should cut him off. Bang, done, gone. You stay in Montecito, you're not part of this anymore. You don't get the good stuff. You don't get the trinkets from the institution that you've been trashing and burying. This poll in America last week showing massively reduced popularity for all the royals, but the most unpopular now, Harry and Meghan in America, right? Because they just don't know what they're doing. They're too stupid.
And Charles is riding top of those polls, Piers. Yeah. And I think to extend that far,
but they're on a mission. They're on a mission.
To
they're on a mission to destroy the monarchy, and we in this country should not accept it. And by the way, it's not just Charles's coronation. It is the people's coronation of our king.
It's a state occasion.
We're paying for it.
But I think the people appreciate Charles acting with dignity. And that he's risen above it says so much.
The most dignified thing he could do is have the least dignified members of his family not there. That's what I call preserving dignity. The idea of Meghan Markle and Harry, after all they've done, sitting there beaming away in the front row, would make me puke.
Well, they won't be in the front pew. I mean, just look back to the Queen's service of Thanksgiving during the Jubilee. They can be there in a peripheral...
Shove them out by the crypt and maybe we'll think about it.
Exactly.
All right, got to leave it there. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.